The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first. Unfortunately,
because of you, we're in this mess. Forever you will acquiesce. Oh, you love to be deceived. Whatever they tell you, you believe. Dead of sight, dead of mind, news believer, you are blind. Critical thinker, you are not. Never independent thought. Busting through your paradigm. Hypnotized with pantomime. Regurgitating all you hear. Spread your terror, spread your fear. Never your mind to be free. Never your eyes will ever see. Lick the boot of tyranny, begging for your slavery. They who have remote control, the keys know your very soul. To listen to the great deceiver, television watching news believer. Inject your poison where your mask. All they have to do is ask. Never questioning authority. Blindly following like sheep. Yes sir, no sir, free backs fool. You television watching fool. Never your mind to be free. Never your eyes will ever see. Lick the boot of tyranny, begging for your slavery. They who have remote control, the keys know your very soul. Tune into the great receiver, television watching news believer. This is extremely dangerous to our democracy. Extremely dangerous to our democracy. This is 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 extremely dangerous to our democracy. In their world forever locked. Into their world forever boxed. Reality you leave behind. A prisoner of your own mind. Forever you will be deceived, never ever to be free. Never your mind to be free. Never your eyes will ever see. Lick the boot of tyranny, begging for your slavery. They who have remote control, the keys know your very soul. To the great deceiver, television watching news believer. Never your mind to be free. Never your eyes will ever see. Lick the boot of tyranny, begging for your slavery.
This is the resistance and I'm not giving in. Breaking the paradigm everybody's living in. No more spinning on a ball, that shit was just pretend. And I'm not gonna say it is just for the sake of fitting in. The truth is different to people because illusions vary. The truth is hidden, the truth is missing, the truth is buried. The truth is beautiful, truth is ugly, the truth is scary. That's why telling the truth is revolutionary. The truth is something that these people just will not provide. That's why they gotta keep sheeple completely occupied. Now our food and our fruits and veggies are modified. And that's what happens when common sense is just not applied. They govern your minds, that's why it's called governmental. Everything that comes out of their mouth is utter dribble. And we just sit here every day, it's always uneventful. That's why I'm out here causing ruckus, man, that's what I'm into. I'm defiant, remaining non-compliant. No, I'm not staying quiet, never remaining silent. Doing everything that I can just to create a riot. I want the truth and I'll do whatever it takes to find it. Have to be asleep to have the American dream. There's bloodlines and they seem to think there's a supreme. Democrats and Republicans are sharing the scene. It's no different than the WWE. Everybody's an actor and the world is a stage. We're just some slaves never knowing the world is a cage. They got us worrying about chasing fortune and fame. They train us to ignore these things and it's more than just strange. But I won't do this anymore, man, I'm taking control. If you don't do it for yourself, no one's saving your soul. It's better that you make it whole than they'll make it a whole. Ripping it, tearing it, twisting and taking it slow. I've never been the type of guy that would tolerate ghouls. They try to take us and brainwash us in all of their schools. They're lying to us every day while we're watching the news. But I refuse to lose and no, I won't follow the rules. I'm defiant, remaining non-compliant. No, I'm not staying quiet, never remaining silent. Doing everything that I can just to create a riot. I want the truth and I'll do whatever it takes to find it.
What is up, everyone? Welcome to my birthday stream, The Ripple Effect. I have two very young, handsome young men with me here today. I got my brother from another mother, Steve JMO, and Shepu right down here. Thank you guys for joining me today on my birthday stream. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday, Jen. Wish you the best for this year.
Yeah, well, you know, the year's not starting off so great for me. Life kind of threw me a pretty big curveball last week, but it's nothing I can really get into here on the show. But, you know, I handled it and hopefully it gets better. It can't get worse, I would think, after whatever I just experienced, but hopefully it gets better in 2022. I'd like to give Ray Mudflood Adventures / Michelle L a big shout out. I was listening to his live stream last night, and him and his buddies that he had on the show sang me happy birthday. So that was really cool. 2 a.m, they were singing me happy birthday. Oh, and I also have Steve JMO and Shepu's YouTube channels linked in the description below this video playing right now. So if anybody wants to drop their links in the chat for me, but you can also just go below the video and subscribe to them. Make sure you guys are subscribed. If you're not, you're missing out. So, Shepu, what's going on in your neck of the woods? You said you're like blizzard conditions up there?
Well, it's still really cold here, but the thing that's going on around, it's that convoy that's coming to Ottawa. It's already there. There's already blocked all the roads, and I didn't see it myself because I don't go to city centers. There's too much people for me.
Yeah, I totally get that.
The news is all over the place there, so everywhere you look on TV, that's all they talk
You
about.
know what's amazing to me is that, you would think something like that would be happening here in the land of the free, in the home of the brave, but no. It's happening in Canada because that's where the brave and more free than we are probably are living. Okay. It's just, I don't even get what's going on here in this country. I mean, more and more people are starting to wake up, but more and more people are, I guess, how can I explain this? Like, they're not being as vocal. Like, I always knew protesting doesn't get you anything. Okay. They let you have your little fucking protest, break a window or two here or there. A few people go to jail, whatever, they supply the bricks. But other than that, nothing really changes. Do you guys expect a big change due to all this stuff with the truckers? Or do you think it's just basically, people expressing their discord, you might say, and then it'll just die off?
Well, for what I'm seeing, people are just expressing that they're not going to with those mandates and following all the stuff that they say they will do. But what will change, I don't know. It's like you said, protest is hardly doing anything these days. But
well, I think it's interesting that they're willing to get out there in the freezing cold and stand up with them truckers and stuff. Because people that I saw, I mean, it looked like it was just frozen out there, and they're out there waving their flags over bridges, putting all their stuff up and stuff. And
families, grandmas, children everywhere lining up and waving to people and saying what they really think about these mandates. So it's nice to see people coming out like that. But it's let's to see what we'll do about it, because I don't know what will happen.
I think one of the trucks said mandate freedom. I like that one.
Yeah,
I can live with that.
Yeah, right. So what's going on with you, Steve? What you been up to, and how's things in your area?
Well, it seems like we're getting this storm on the way. I actually just got a notification on my phone a couple minutes ago. It says 12 inches of snow expected in the next 24 hours. But with that being said, yesterday, the day before, and I didn't check today, but yesterday and the day before, all the factories in the neighborhood were just pumping it out, giving it the fuel. So we already know it's going to be some sort of man-made blizzard event. So can't wait for that. That should be fun.
Oh, yeah. Ray, I don't know if you just got here, but I did say thank you for you guys singing me happy birthday last night. That was so sweet, and it's pretty awesome. It's really cool. So here it's just crazy windy out. My birthday's always cold and freezing and whatever, so I don't ever really do a whole lot on my birthday. I'm very grateful to be able to do this live stream tonight and have you guys with me. We're going to get into a few things about the first Electric World's Fair, which was in Chicago. It's called the Columbian Expedition, and it was in 1893. And we're going to break that all down. Now, we've talked many times about the pictures that we see from these World's Fairs, that you cannot see any lighting, or if you do see lighting, it's minimal and on just specific locations, but you don't see wires going anywhere all over this stuff and everything. We're going to really break that down and look at some in-depth pictures. I know Shepu has some really good stuff that he wants to show us, but we're also going to get into some videos. And Steve, you said that you had a clip that you wanted to play as well. What's your take on this first electric expedition, and what do you think's going on with that?
What I think probably contradicts what a lot of people think. I think that America was populated with, I guess you can call, Europe white people. It was populated shortly before this World's Fair, and whoever was hanging out here before the World's Fair, they were the ones putting it together, and and we're not putting it together, but doing the whitewashing. And I mean, I bet all the families of those workers, they might not even be around anymore. I just feel like whatever they walked into, they were showing like this new world, why it's so grand. We're gonna do all this blah 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 here, and then it's just one big lie to get people suckered in. I feel they're just showing off the old world technology, and then never used any of it.
And they're showing off the old world technology, saying it's new technology, which was invented by Westinghouse and Tesla. And then they throw Edison in there. So you got the competition thing going, which everybody loves a good competition. And boy, was competition really pushed out heavily after the last reset. It was always competitions for building designs, competitions for the fair designs, competitions to get electricity going, and all this. Everything was suddenly competitive. And they really wanted to move us into a new era, which would be the modern industrial age. But the only way that could happen was if they got all the old crap that's just repackaged and repurposed as some new crap, where we heard that before, with all these new inventors behind it, so they can bring it out in increments and give it to the population, and then to steer it into another direction with the technology. Now, we were just talking about Christopher Columbus before we got started, and the exposition is named after him. Shepu, you said it's the 400-year anniversary for that exposition for Columbus discovering America. Yeah. Okay. All of his story is a lie. Not just some of it, not just that over there and a little bit over here. All of it is a lie. And the sooner that you grasp that and be able to digest it and wrap your head around it, the better off you will be when understanding the false narrative that has been perpetuated onto us through the generations. Christopher Columbus did not discover America. It's questionable if this character even existed. Shepu was even telling me before the show, me and Steve, that the name varies from different cultures and countries. You want to tell everybody what you were saying about that, Shepu?
Yeah, I was telling you about Christopher Columbus. It's his name in English, but if you say it in Italian, it's Cristobal Colon, and in French, it's Christophe Colomb. It's all three different names, but I think it was made like this for you to better identify with this guy. He's probably like us. He's French, or they changed the name in the type of language you speak. Because if you go anywhere else on the world, your name doesn't change. It's always the same in French, English. You're called Steve, and you're called Jennifer anywhere,
And they can use that on the flip side too. They could be like the general population, like they hear about Columbus, like, oh yeah, they're familiar. They're like, oh yeah, good guy, blah blah blah. But they're not thinking about the District of Columbia and all that, all the other stuff that follows there. I mean, there's a statue of Columbus or Columbia at this World's Fair, lit up with all gold. It's incredible.
Exactly. Now it's not a statue of Christopher Columbus, who discovered America, supposedly. It's just some strange guy holding a scepter and a ball in his hand. You know what I mean? It's like, who's that?
And Colomb is a dove that they use in Christianity. The dove that they put everywhere.
The dove?
In French, it's a colombe. That's
okay.
Yeah, so it represents the dove too, and he was sent by the Jesuits and all these guys.
Am I not sharing screen? Oh, there it is. Okay, I was just going to leave that up while we were talking. I think I did it right. Yeah. Okay.
It's that. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, but I didn't do the tab thing right. See, I can't come off it and be back over here. I did the whole thing, not just those single tabs. I always do that. But yeah, guys, all history, all his story is a lie. And if we go back to Christopher Columbus, since this expedition World's Fair is supposed to be in honor of that anniversary, the lie that we were taught in school during his story class, because that's all it is a story. It's made up. I would have never guessed in 1,000 years that I was being lied to, and that this guy, Christopher Columbus, and the Pinta, the whatever, and the Santa Maria, or whatever, I bought it hook, line, and sinker. This is what we were taught, and we were taught it at a very young age. This is basic stuff that you learn.
It's a good lie for children.
Exactly. Kind of like the Noah's Ark story, because that's always presented to us in a very childlike manner. Yeah. I think there was more than one ark, and there was more to the story, but they leave a lot of out, and we got King James version. So there's that, you know what I mean? Somebody edited this thing. Whoever thinks that it's a good thing to edit God or Jesus, I don't know what, that's them, but I'm just saying. I think they left a lot of things out. Maybe they added some stuff in, but they definitely left a shit ton of stuff out. So they could steer the narrative. And everybody has a flood story. So how can everybody around the world have a flood story about, people on a boat? It's just not, it wouldn't seem feasible if every culture has that. You know what I mean?
So it's obvious that there was more than one Noah, but I don't know why people say there's just one, because in all culture they have it. So
it varies. The story varies of the people on the ship and what and their names and stuff. But in the Christianity and Christian Bible, it's Noah and his sons and the women that they were with and the animals. But just like Christopher Columbus and all the other things that we've learned about his story, his bloodlines, his royal bloodlines. Who occupied these palatial estates in these different locations and stuff like that, and why they seem to have the right to rule over us, has all been one big lie. And tonight we're going to break down some more of that lie. So one of the things that I wanted to bring up, I'm going to go, let me see here. I'm going to go back into a screen share here in just a second. Let me get my stuff set up. I have a little video clip that we're going to watch. Now, I have to tell you, in today's world, it takes at least 6 months for them to set up a factory, get in the factory or a restaurant, right? Okay, this restaurant could be a little quicker, especially if it's another restaurant that's already been there and they don't have to build the whole thing out and everything like that. But you're talking about a new production line, okay? Something that's never been produced before. Would need a whole new production line. That means you have to have people who are designing the production line itself and the machinery that is helping in producing your product, whether it's light bulbs or electricity down the line somewhere. You have to have the means to create these things. You can't just, go into some little shed and start stringing together light bulbs and blowing glass and all this stuff.
These days you need a patent too. So.
And you need patents, yeah, all which take time, okay? Even in today's world, you can't build a restaurant from the ground up and get it all done, ready to go, stocked and employed and trained with people already trained to know how to do that job before it even opens in less than 6 months. Yet they supposedly had done this whole thing 6 months prior to the fair opening, not even 6 months really, for the patents. The factory that had to produce all these light bulbs and wires. And then you have to have people who are trained to know how to put these products together and then be able to get them out and ship them out without anything breaking along the way, which, you're on a horse and buggy with barely any roads. There's that.
What's really interesting too is like how inside of these like massive buildings, they showed all this, like you say, light bulb type technology, but you look at the place from the outside at night, there's no light bulbs lighting this shit up, so even that aspect of it is a lie. They're showing them the technology they're about to get while at the same exact time utilizing the free energy grid and just lighting up stone in the middle of the night. It's ridiculous. You see videos and pictures of that place, it looks like you're at a U2 concert or something.
It's insane.
Well, hundreds of years ahead of its time, 100 years. Even if it is, who even knows what the exact date is, Yeah.
Now
they say 18 whatever, but who even knows what was really popping in, Oh
no, let me go to Chrome tab. Hold on.
We'll see pictures later that in the day, it's hardly, you cannot even see one light bulb. Maybe I found maybe one.
Dude,
Usually,
right. During the day, there's none.
yeah.
At night, you got the pillars lighting up. How? How is this? You know? I mean, I
Right.
think I
Yeah,
know how, but
exactly.
I still don't know how.
I'm having a little technical difficulty here, so hang on a second. I
You
don't
want
know
to
what to
send it
keep.
on my end? I could share it, Jen. It's no big deal.
I'm not saying that they didn't use any, because you can see that there was some, but not all. There were other technologies that Tesla, not Tesla, but
Yeah,
that
like
they
the light
were
that's
rolling
coming out
out.
of the top of the statue on the spire. There's no light bulbs on
Yeah,
that
yeah,
thing.
those fires, and
What
they're
is
all
that?
lit from the inside.
And from the video, it looked like it was pulsating. It didn't look like it was just a solid light like you get from turning on the light switch, you know? Like not like a giant pulse, but like, you know.
Because it's a polyphase motor that they use, so it had to pulse a little bit.
Yeah, that one that you showed, Steve, with the dome, that had the dome and that plasma looking thing going on inside the dome.
Oh, yeah, that was ridiculous.
That was nuts. Nobody talks about that, right? That's some plasma energy that was up in that thing. I mean, that was insane. Now, I'm not saying they didn't have bulbs. They had light bulbs in certain locations, and you can see them in some of the pictures. Most of them are the lower, smaller stands that they put up. They did erect certain stands in locations around this whole white city, but you can clearly see the average man-made stuff of the time compared to the stuff that was already there that's colossal. Now let me go back here and share screen again and start this
The
over.
machinery, you need to move something like that. Never mind make it, you know?
Yeah. All right, so we're going to check out this video real quick. And let me see if I can make it a little bit bigger here. Let me get rid of this.
They speak about how they made these things with plaster and things, but they never tell how they put the wires inside, because there's no wires outside. It's all inside and from the, yeah, they never show you that.
Jen, why don't you just hit full screen? Hit full screen on the video.
Yeah, I should do that.
On the right hand side, a little square.
Yeah, I got it. When I flip back to my StreamYard, it's not coming up right away for me, even though you guys can still see me. But you can see the video here, right? Even though I don't have it full screen yet. You can see the video page up, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm just going to hit play.
Thousands of people came at night just to see the lighting. And what they do is they go back and talk about it.
The World's Fair was...
Is there an echo at all?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to mute out. Sorry, I don't know how I'm going to mute out here. I don't know why this thing is acting weird. Okay, here we are. Give me 1 second.
It's all good.
Was a massive undertaking, but Westinghouse had the courage of his conviction that his men could do it. He closed the contract before even consulting them. Edison.
All right, I just want to show you something right here on this part right here. Check out the brick down here. Do you see this? Right down here in this lower. It doesn't look too good, does it?
No.
I mean, it doesn't look that fresh. I know it's a grainy black and white picture, but I did notice that they don't look that great, that brick. It doesn't look as new as you would think it would look. Yeah. So there's that. I think
painted over all these buildings. They could have been fucking beat as hell, you know?
Yeah, I think that all this machinery, I think all this stuff was already there in the location. All they did was clean it up. They have to back engineer it and figure out how it works and get it working again. And then they use this as their means with Tesla, Westinghouse, and Edison as their fall guys for historical narrative, or who are the inventors. And, you know, necessity is the mother of invention. We need electricity, and we need these smart guys to be in competition with each other so we can get this out to the public. Well, that's all bullshit, guys. Not just some of it, not just a little bit, not just that over there. All of it is a lie. All of it. And once you come to that realization, you can better understand why they had these fairs and what the fairs were all about. It was a way to indoctrinate us into thinking that this was a competitive way to bring on the modern industrial age. And also that we had these clever people who invented this stuff. When you see the size and the scope of the machines that ran the Columbian expedition in Chicago, I mean, it's just mind-boggling. The type of infrastructure you would already have to have built to even create these machines that they call dynamos and what was the other one called? The phase, the multi-phase.
Yeah.
Yes, that Tesla had and everything. These are massive machines. It would take probably a year just to build one of these things, not in alone busting them out 6 months and have these patent battles between Edison and Tesla and Westinghouse and all this stuff, and whose bulbs are better. Give me a break. But let me.
I found out that there's an inventor of bulbs in like 5, 6, or 7 different countries that they invented bulbs all around the same time.
All around the same time. Same thing with the airplanes. Once the Wright brothers got off the ground with their little plane, prayer and duct tape and probably some gum stuck to it somewhere for like 15 minutes off the ground. Less than 10 years later, I'm talking 5 to 7 years, the whole world, the whole flat plane had airplanes going on, guys. So, I mean, this is the historical narrative of the technological advancements over the last 300 years, 360 years, just all of it leading up. It's just all bullshit. It's all back engineered old technology that they're repackaging as new technology, but they're steering a narrative with it. They want us to have a perception deception of what this stuff is and how it was made. You know, we get these really pretty stories that they put on about the exposition and the competition. They focus more on the competition more than anything. They never actually get down to the nitty gritty of who produced these massive turbines and stuff to make this fair go. And who was putting in the electricity, the wiring and everything prior to it. None of that gets spoken about.
Never.
I'm going to mute and we're going to continue.
Holding them. Edison was well known for challenging people on patent infringement, and even though Westinghouse had won the World's Fair contract, they were dangerously close to a patent dispute and a massive lawsuit. The Westinghouse alternating current system was going to power the lights of the fair, but the light bulbs that were going to be used were too similar to a patent owned by Edison, the one-piece incandescent light bulb. Some 6 months before the opening, with all of the Westinghouse work already installed, the patent on the Edison incandescent lamp was sustained, and Westinghouse was not permitted to use the light bulbs that he had planned to use. George Westinghouse had a clever way around this problem, though. Years earlier, he had purchased rights to the Sawyerman lamp patent and chose to use those lamps instead, and thus originated the famous two-piece Westinghouse stopper lamp, so called because a piece of ground glass held an iron filament fitted into the bulb like a cork.
Good business sense. Said he better have a backup, and that turned out to be the two-piece all-glass Westinghouse stopper lamp that was upheld to the court as an independent patent. Perhaps wasn't as good an incandescent lamp as the Edison lamp at the time, but it was good enough to successfully illuminate the Great Chicago World's Fair in 1893.
Westinghouse rushed through extensive new production facilities to finish the bulbs the moment the fair was scheduled to open.
The Westinghouse company at that time manufactured 250.
I'm sorry, but this is not something that you just rush to get done. To light a whole fair, something that you've never even done before, right? It's not like you've done it over and over and over again, right? You're going to rush production of 250,000 light bulbs, which we're going to hear him say in just a minute, in a little factory with people who don't even know what they're doing and stuff. It just seems so far-fetched to me. And that the fact that they focus more on the competition and patenting between these three people seems to be a deterrent to take your attention away for your brain to say, what the fuck? This isn't right. Like, because they already have this really nice laid out backstory for us about the competition and the light bulbs and the patents and this one and that one and all this stuff. But I'm going to mute and we'll continue.
$50,000 two-piece all-glass Westinghouse stopper lamps. It was estimated at the time that was 25% of all the incandescent lamps made up to that point in time anywhere in the world.
It was a quick and dirty job, and the opening of the fair, May 1st, 1893.
It was a quick and dirty job. Really? A quick and dirty job? Let's get it done. I'll have the fair open on time. No delays. Are you kidding me? How did they get all this shit there with their horse and buggies? How did they move those huge turbine domino things, whatever they're called, into these buildings? When you see these massive buildings and you see what they use supposedly to run this place, you will naturally come to the conclusion that this stuff was already there. That building was already there. They just decided who they're going to say invented this stuff.
Yeah. And they showed, like, in the factory, there was like a 12 woman doing the light bulbs.
Yeah, not even that. And we don't even know when that picture's actually from. You know, this is what I'm saying. It's so easy for them to write the historical.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. There's a little bit more here. I'm going to continue.
Three was not delayed an hour. In his tradition of surrounding himself with smart people, Westinghouse was well served by his patent lawyers and engineers. The World's Fair lamps did not last long and had to be changed often. But fair visitors never knew this at the time.
Did you just hear that?
Yeah.
They didn't even last long. They had to be changed out all the time, which means you have to have a constant backup production of 250,000 light bulbs. Who's bringing them in? Who's changing them out? Are you kidding me?
Where's the team? Yeah, they're not in any of the pictures, videos.
No, all the light bulbs are
say,
working.
Well, the people.
There's not one missing.
Yeah.
I just put up.
Where's all this skilled labor at? It takes time to train people on how to do this.
Every year you put up a Christmas tree and a light bulb is out, you know? It's God damn.
Unbelievable. Yeah, I'm going to mute again.
All they saw was the beautiful lighting and the name Westinghouse. The fair was a huge success, attracting nearly 28 million visitors in its 6-month run, and the Westinghouse exhibits had prime real estate. Just off the Court of Honor sat the massive electricity building, which was one of the most popular attractions. The Westinghouse Electric and Manufacturing Company occupied a huge chunk of floor space right alongside their rival, General Electric. In Machinery Hall, the Westinghouse Electric Company showed off their complete polyphase system. The generating plant for the World's Fair lighting was the largest alternating current central station then in existence.
Wow.
Guys, did you just fucking hear what she said? It was the largest electrical station in existence. It was probably, according to them, the only one in existence. These are massive dynamo machines with this alternating current thing. These things were already there. Nobody made them, built them, hauled them to this fucking place. I'd love to see how they hauled this shit with their horse and carriages to this place. I mean, this stuff's got to weigh thousands and thousands of pounds. Give me a break.
You're not lying.
It was all in working order. They didn't even test it before they start this shit up, you know? That's the weirdest thing.
Yeah, is somebody doing quality control on the light bulbs, or are they just popping them out and stick them in a crate with some hay and stuff and hope they don't break along the way? I mean, come on.
Incredible.
All right, I'm going to finish this out. It's just another.
To further amaze visitors, the complex switchboard used to control all of the machines required only one operator. George Westinghouse attended the fair that summer, but left all the planning and construction of the exhibits to his managers. Mr. E. Keller, the Westinghouse manager of the World's Fair contract, said, "Like most of his helpers, I felt ready to march through fire for him and was amply repaid. Such was the man, Westinghouse." In the end, they even turned a profit of $16,000, not including advertising.
I'd like to have been there. That would have been a great experience to walk through that place, but I understand no one person could see the entire fair during the summer, that there was so much to see.
Nice tie.
Not one person. That's incredible.
Yeah.
He left all the planning. He left all the planning up to his managers. No need to be involved in it. He just built the machine, got the patents for it, and apparently they were able to make more than one of these machines, and it took up so much floor space. Oh my God, are you kidding me?
Yeah. E. Keller, 33 Keller.
So I have another one that goes with that video that we just watched, but I have to get it to work. Maybe I'll send it to Steve and let him get it to work, because I think me hopping back and forth is just a little too much. So Steve, I'm going to send you this, and we'll listen to this comparison video that goes with it.
Sounds good. Yeah.
All right. Gosh, some birthday stuff's popping up on Facebook for me.
They're going nuts.
Right, there was that one. That one we just watched, and then this one here. Okay, so let me send you this. Oh, share. Angela Carson, hey, what's up, girl? Annette's in the house. I know I saw DJ here. All right, Steve, I just sent it to you. Ben Porter is here. Hippie shake, hippie shake. Ceiling fan man, what are you doing? You gonna come join us for a little bit? If not, it's okay. No pressure.
Ooh.
Johnny Cool's in the house. White Wabbit Warrior is here. White Wabbit Warrior. I like that.
That pesky old wabbit.
Jennifer Kiesling's here. Camria. I always say this name wrong. Camray.
Hey.
Kimray.
Yeah.
Jack the Giant Slayer. What's up? I'm glad everybody's hanging out. We've got 72 people here, and Steve is about to screen share, and we're going to check this out.
Boom. Let me hit it.
Yeah.
So thousands of people came at night just to see the lighting.
And God, is that the same one? Hold on. I think that might be the same one that we just watched. Shit. I didn't mean to do that. Maybe it's this one. Hold on. Let me play it, make sure. Look at me. I ain't even got my shit together right now. Okay, yeah, this is it. All right.
Come on.
Boom, baby. Hey, it's my show. It's my birthday. I can fuck up if I want to. All right, here it comes, Steve. Boom, baby. Boom, baby. Fat Flat Fellows in the house. What's up? 1893. It was a good year for patents and competition.
Now Tesla.
Oops. Gotcha. All right. Boom, boom, boom. Screen the share. Share the screen.
You're screenlicious.
Screenlicious. Damn. We got hit him with it. All right. You ready? Cool.
Yep.
Now Tesla had a chance to make history. His large AC generators would supply all of the fair's electricity and prove that his system would work on a large scale.
All right, let's pause it. We just listened in the last video. They said it was all Westinghouse. In this video, it's all Tesla. A little bit of Westinghouse mixed in on the back end of things, but it's all Tesla. So there's that. I'm just saying. And we can continue.
Every story you hear or heard or read, it's all mixed. They all mixed up in their stories. Sometimes
I was gonna say it's like they don't even care as long as there's a story out there for you to believe in, whether you're a Tesla guy or an Edison guy. That's why I think the whole Tesla Edison thing's a hoax. But
it is
either way, you lay in the World's Fair, you know. And
because the more important thing that they talk about with Edison and Tesla is the competition and the competitive rivalry between them and who was going to be the first one. But they never actually get into all this stuff, like the technical stuff of it, how they made these machines. Do you see these machines in front of you? Are you telling me prior to electricity, they were able to make these machines to produce electricity? Just say it.
So crazy. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
And prove that his system would work on a large scale. On May 1st, 1893, 100,000 eager spectators filed into the fairgrounds, awed by the gleaming neoclassical architecture. Night fell. President Grover Cleveland pressed a button, and the fairgrounds exploded with brilliant tube lighting and multicolored searchlights.
All right, let's pause it.
The most incredible
We just listened to that other video talking about how they busted out 250,000 light bulbs from Westinghouse, right? But now they're talking about tube lighting, not light bulbs. They're talking about tube lighting. Also, you saw that lady standing up on that balcony looking over what they say is the fairgrounds. I've never seen fairgrounds that look like that in my whole life, and I've been to a few fairs. I'm just saying it looked like she was looking out over a whole city, a nice, beautiful city. But what I'm saying is, who the fuck made that spotlight? Where's the company that's producing these spotlights and all, and the lenses that go in that and everything, and the wiring? What do they have? Millions of miles of wiring? I mean, come on.
And the thing is, you're right. She is overlooking a city, an old world city. You know, this was all here before whatever you want to call this establishment of people that we are now. Were here, you know, and they were just showing it off before they could throw it all out, I guess. You know, it's
either that or to give you back engineer what they could and make it like it's our inventions of our time period and we're the discoverers of it, and we made all this, and we have a patent says it. This patent even says it belongs to him. You know what I mean? And all this stuff. It's all a big fairy tale lie. All of it.
That's how they do it, the back engineering stuff. Then they came out that, oh yeah, we invented it, but they just back engineer an old technology.
So the reason I think it took them quite a bit of time to back engineer a lot of this technology is because that the people were here before us were using symbols and not technical language like we would write down, okay, put this into that, you know, with English words and stuff. They use symbols, and the people probably didn't understand the symbols, like the on button, Steve, that we see everywhere, that on button symbol. Okay, if you don't know what the hell that is, you don't know that means that's how you turn it on. You know what I mean? I'm just saying.
Yeah. And the thing is, you know, that's why I feel like the world government put Hitler up to what he was doing, because he was going around the world finding all these ancient artifacts and symbols and scrolls, and what did that lead him to? The wild technology, you know?
And also, when you look at the Egyptian hieroglyphs, which they try to tell us that it's all spiritual and it's all about their gods and stuff, it's actually instructions on how to put together a DJed column. It tells you once it's voltage, power, and voltage, current, and then power. Because once you have the voltage and you have the current, you can direct the current, you'll have power. Okay. And they try to make it like these are attributes of the gods and stuff, but it's not. It's as long as you know what those symbols mean and what order to put them in, then you're good to go. But if you can't read the symbols, which for a very long time, they couldn't read Egyptian symbols, remember? They had to guess at what most of the stuff was until the Rosetta
Stone. Guy found one stone that tells them all.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
That's weird story.
All right, we can continue.
All right.
Tube lighting, and multicolored searchlights. The most incredible display of lighting the world had ever seen. In the Great Hall of Electricity, the public could see that the Tesla Westinghouse system made it all possible.
All right, let's pause it there.
Now,
that was probably the end of it anyway. But as you can see, that little thing right there, that's man-made for the time period, right? They had to stick this stuff up, and sure, there's probably light bulbs going around this little thing and stuff. There's probably the light bulbs.
There's some labels on it, call it a day.
Yeah, and they want to make sure that everybody knew that this was Tesla, polyphase system, and Westinghouse electricity, okay? So it's already being bred into the mindsets of the people at the time. Now, you have to remember, school and historical narrative was not being taught until right around this time, actually, the late 1800s going into the early 1900s. Some of it people weren't even in school until 1904, 1905 and stuff. So this was a good way to anchor that memory of the historical narrative through these fairs. And have people believe that, you know, these are technological geniuses and they surround themselves with all the smartest people and all the richest people. And they're the ones who did all this, you know, he made a little profit on the back end of things, but that's it. Yeah.
But when you see the people attending this fair, they don't look like one that they don't have any money. They all dressed up like dresses, incredible dresses that you can't even buy today. And
yeah, very elaborate, ornate stuff for people who are just, you know, really starting to. You think that they would make, they would have made things more efficient for the time that they're living in. Do you really want to have a long dress mucking around in the mud? You see all these movies of people in England and all over the place. You know, they got these, you know, what was it? The gold rush when they're all rushing out to the West, supposedly. And these girls are in these long dresses getting mud all over them and stuff. I mean, that's just ridiculous. You know what I mean? But they weren't smart enough to figure it out. I think even the fashions were made this way, to be perceived to us as like, oh, look how far we've come since then. You know what I mean? It's all a giant facade, the whole thing.
Makes them look more sophisticated too. And like Johnny Cool says in the chat, good marketing skills, selling something they never built.
Exactly. Yeah. The shit was already there. The whole competition thing. And whenever you do research into this stuff, it's more about the competition. And you know, between these three people and other people. And then they got this whole list of people. Once Edison, Tesla, and Westinghouse come out with their stuff, there's just a whole plethora of people behind them who are doing patents and making stuff and everything. It's crazy.
In the story of the Tesla, he never built anything before this. It was, it's all in my head. I never built anything. I don't even know if it works, but I know it works.
Yeah, and we're going to bust out all this stuff right before the fair. And in the installation of this stuff, they don't talk about how it was brought there, how it was installed, nothing.
Well, it looks like just the most incredible city, you know?
Absolutely. And look at how little the people are.
Like if the whole world had like a European narrative, like that's what it would look like, you know? Like, I mean, you know what I mean? Like Rome
a golden age of glory, you know.
Right.
It doesn't
that
look like
never happened here allegedly, but yet here we go. This is Chicago. We have San Francisco. There's Buffalo, you know. Even Boston had a fucking World's Fair. You know, it's ridiculous.
Seattle.
Yeah. Sacramento.
You know why they did that is because all this tech was everywhere, and they had to educate, give the new narrative to everybody and bring this technology out into the public, because they can't just come out with it. They have to have a narrative behind it. I gotta let my cat out real quick, Steve. Go ahead. You can show your picture.
Oh, you're good. Yeah, there's just a couple photos here from the World's Fair during the day, and just as incredible. And
Oh, yeah.
the thing that's missing, there's no strands of lights, there's no light bulbs on any of these, but at night they're portrayed as glowing. Look at the giant obelisk. Look at all these eject columns everywhere. What are you saying, Shepu? Sorry.
No, I was talking about the light tubes that Jen was just talking about, that they say they just invented, that they use like it's like the neon, when you put neon near a Tesla coil that lights up. The same technology.
You know, it's funny. You know, they have the capability somehow to build all these buildings according to the narrative, and yet you got to take some skimpy ass boat that someone has to row to get to them. I don't believe that. You know, something's wrong with the technology here, folks.
Yeah, they use motors for lights, but not for their boats.
Right, bro. Right. Where's the Tesla shift? You know, you guys seem to have the buildings, the fountains, you name it. Like you said, everyone's dressed like they're ready to take a picture, you know?
Yeah, all this system needs pumps and all these, it needs automotors, but they don't talk about this.
That's what I'm saying. No lights on any of these buildings yet, glowing at night.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Incredible. Give me a break, guys. This is like Athens. This is like the Pantheon.
I can't even get potholes fixed outside of my house for like 2 years, yet they're busting this out in less than 6 months. Wow.
Just grand, you know? Way too grand for the times.
Also, they invented this whitewashing painting system that just conveniently was invented the second electricity was found, I guess. So they were able to.
One of the last things they gave him from the old world. They're like, and there's one more thing you're going to have to do. You're going to have to whitewash everything to fit a new narrative because no one's going to believe it.
But listen. They couldn't say they had guys come in with scaffolding and painters painting everything. No. They just happen to have this new awesome spray paint. How convenient. So they could whitewash everything, right?
Yeah. I found pictures of these painters.
Yeah. Fun. Oh, you have them? Good. We're going to see those. Do you want to bring up some of your pictures, Shepu?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay. Because we're going to look at some night shots and day shots of the Columbian Exposition and see what we can see with this lighting. When was the first extension cord made? It was 1904, the first patent. That was the patent, not the production. The patent, 1904.
Yeah, just have to run downstairs real quick, all right?
And they're now listen, the whole thing with the extension cord, because I looked into it, because my first question was, where the hell's the extension cords for all this stuff? Because I have like 10 extension cords in my house, like for different areas. So I was really curious about that. And the story was, this guy had a lamp in his house, and where it wouldn't reach the where the outlet was in his wall. So he'd have to like move over to the outlet to plug his lamp in. And this is the guy who came up with the extension cord. And that's just in one little house. So imagine this place with no extension cords. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
So this is the main, can you see it?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's called main administration building.
And that bridge at night is completely lit up, especially underneath of it and all along the sides of it.
Lit up, but you cannot see one light bulb. I'll try to zoom in. Try to find one light bulb.
Yep.
I don't know if between these, but you should see some kind of light bulb.
And of course, they said that these light bulbs didn't last long. They had people come in and change these light bulbs out periodically.
Yeah. And all around here, there should be some light bulbs. Very hard to see, but this is a grainy picture. But I'll show you like the top. We all see the top that's all lit up. All these strips of lights.
Mm-hmm.
You even here you cannot see. It's hard to see a light bulb. Exactly. Even though they were clear, maybe this is why, I don't know, But like you said, they just said that they invented the tube lighting that they put all around these places.
Yes, and we've shown in other pictures, one of the ones we'll probably see at night and stuff, where you can see that it's a long strip. There's no bulb separation between each bulb. It's like strip lighting that we use today. I have it out back in my house. Even it's like LED strip lighting.
Yeah. So this is the Tesla exposition, all what he invented and made, but he didn't make anything before in the story. If you read the story,
what
Tesla
is that
didn't
thing in
make
the middle there?
anything.
Yeah, what's that thing in the middle with that grapefruit on it or something?
What it reminds me, looks like this egg is levitating.
Oh, I bet it does. Yeah.
Because some people have made this.
It's sitting right on the top of the donut coil. See the donut coil under it? We've seen those on the tops of Chinese buildings from the 1800s, and a lot of the tech that we see here all across the plane. But this is a small version compared to what they had in the exposition. If you just make all that stuff on that table extra large and oversized, that's the stuff that's in the industrial.
Imagine the metal and the smelting you need to make to build these giant. It's incredible. They had to have these giant factories.
You would have had to have giant factories. You would have had to already have electricity to build this stuff. That's like saying that imperial crown of Russia that they made in the 1700s with no electricity. They made it in 2 months for the queen.
This is one.
Wow.
Colombian, the same place I just showed.
Right. So here we can see some light bulbs, I think. Or is that the edge of the thing lit up?
Yeah, I think they are light bulbs.
I have light bulbs here.
But you see that there's light bulbs and there's strips.
Oh, yeah.
Lights.
Yeah. It's like the light bulb and the strip itself is all lit up.
Yeah. Again, really hard to find some really good pictures, high quality pictures. I have some, but there's some.
Yeah, the daytime shots, you don't see any light bulbs strung anywhere.
Like
so you told me that they said they put the electrical stuff in the ground of these buildings, right?
Yeah, they say they had wires underground, and they said wires inside. But if they use this,
so that means before they even lay the floors in on these buildings, supposedly they would have had teams of people come in and lay the wiring. Okay, do you know how long it takes to wire a house, a regular house that you're having built? You're telling me unskilled labor who's never been trained in the electrical field at all. It's brand fucking new, guys, according to them. Had the skilled labor and the wherewithal to do all this in a short amount of time. I mean, it's just crazy.
Wait, this one is more clear, but here, try to find a light bulb. I tried to try to find some. It's really hard. I know they're clear, but you should see some lighting or some reflection on it.
Yeah, you should. Absolutely.
They have all around here. They should have all around.
Yeah, I agree, Johnny. The buildings themselves are impossible for the timeline. I agree 100%. But clearly, this was their idea for introducing electricity to the world and start moving us into the modern industrial era and steer this whole reset narrative a different direction to where they are the ones who come out on top. They're the ones who hit all the technology. They're the ones who are back engineering it. And they're the ones who are dulling it out to us.
Yeah.
Hey, Shepu, zoom out real quick.
Yeah, I just want to say, Steve, 1 second. Look at how blackened all this stuff is supposed to be new and whitewashed,
Some of that old world stuff.
Where do you want to look at?
If you just zoom all the way out, just so it's like the full picture. So, know what we should do, honestly? Like, take pictures like this and similar pictures of the exposition, print them out and just go around town. Like, hey, where do you think this building
Yeah.
is? Right? People are going to say Berlin. People are going to say, you know what I'm saying? Rome, Greece. No, this was Chicago, you know, or whatever fair you choose to use. You know, I like the Buffalo one personally, but that's me.
Yeah. I like the St. Louis one, me.
This looks like it's missing tech on top. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And also, it's interesting that most people have no
they'll probably
clue.
have that tech up in one of their little facilities. Like, oh, look at this. You know, maybe in the Crystal Palaces. Man, we got to dip back into those.
Oh, yeah.
But inside of these places, maybe inside.
Looks Chinese.
It's what Austria department exhibit.
Makes sense.
Even on some of this stuff, you don't see any light bulbs or anything.
Nope. And they all light up.
I find it interesting when they say that, you know, the light bulbs had to be changed out, but the people who went to the fair never even noticed. All they see is all the lights on. They were just so enamored by all this light.
I should have classes with light and not, but this is the electric building. Like they say, the most popular one with everything was lit up at night. I have another picture, but it's further down the series.
Right. So this tower here, this pillar right here, which is clearly a DJed column, is completely lit up at night.
Like you
Look
can
at the
see
bottom
here,
of it, though, the way it's set up.
And all those
small bulbs, but all this, there's no bulbs, and this pillar, we've looked at it. It's all lit up.
Right. And the pillar has up, which lights up as well. Plus the platform that the thing is sitting on at the top of the pillar is also lit up. And under that dome, as you scroll down and you see that dome that this pillar is sitting on, underneath that is all the lighting lamps that you could, like, you know, maybe have hanging from the ceiling in your house, and all of those are lit. Have you ever gone to Home Depot and see their lighting section? What they have to do, all these places they have to plug these things in at? Where's all that for that? I mean, you have to really sit back and think about this, guys.
Hey, I love Home Depot, all right?
I love their lighting section. It's just,
I love the Home Depot, but I don't know what that is anymore.
Yeah.
And again, you see all these griffins everywhere.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, the old world, like beast, I guess you want to call them. They're everywhere, you know?
Yeah.
Sphinxes, phoenixes,
griffins,
dragons, you know? Crazy.
Yeah.
Great. All a myth, you know? But you're going to etch them into a building and say it's for technology. I don't know, man.
It's a myth, but everybody knew what they were looking like. And now
right there, you know? But give me a break. Who am I, you know?
I see look, you can see a couple of birds sitting on that A-frame, but you can't see any fucking light bulbs. There's a couple of birds right there on the left-hand side, or the right-hand side right there. Now you can see those birds, but you can't see bulbs.
Lions. This is which building? Doesn't say, but it says the agricultural building.
Now, why would they go out of their way to make fucking huge pillars and huge doorways and huge archways for average people who are coming to see this thing? You know? It's just too much.
Right, for average people, you know.
Yeah, look at how tiny the people are. Come on. Then you got, what's that? Noah's Ark in the center there with these people paddling. What's going on there? It's too much. It's flanked with DJ columns on either side.
Maybe this is Christopher Columbus, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, Columbus.
Giant, yeah.
All of them could be the same person, man. You know, just a different time. Same deity, just different name, you know. Columbus, George Washington, who even knows? Abe Lincoln, whatever. Apollo. Could go all the way back to the garden. I think it does. Look at that. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Who carved that thing? Who put that up?
Right.
And who put all this water in this little mini lake here and stuff? And I mean, it's too much. It's
the artificial lagoon.
Yeah, they built it on a wall.
So the naming, they accomplished at least two things here. They had a reason to get rid of this place because it was supposed to only be temporary, and it's a fair, which means fairs aren't permanent, they're temporary. So that gave them their excuse to tear it all down, and they also were able to utilize the narrative to reintroduce all this technology back into society. Because when your civilization starts over, you're going to need power because you had power before, clearly. That's how all this stuff got built. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the fountain. It's empty. It's not even water in it.
Wow.
You can see they just put flags on top.
Uh-huh.
Like you were saying, Jen, I've been to plenty fairs, they have tents and roller derbies, nothing like this,
Yeah, in a time where you think that their money would be more spent,
Right,
spent on infrastructure and roads and no, wait, they didn't need money for that because all that shit was already built, wasn't it?
So much detail, so much people to build all this. It's incredible.
Yeah, all this was built without electricity. They put the electricity in later and then turned all the lights on. What, did they just build during the day and did nothing at night, I guess, because it's all dark?
Yeah. I should have put all the lighting.
Oh, they had candles. Now look, see here, you can see some bulbs on that dome. On that one.
Here.
Yes.
But they stick out like a sore thumb, baby. You don't see them on that second one to the left.
Nope.
Now look up there. You got these huge spotlights looking things going right here. Yeah, these huge things. These are not small.
They have all lights here. But if you know how a camera works, we shouldn't even see these ones because these type of bulbs are brighter than these ones. It looks like they probably tampered with the picture. Because if you
I see what you're saying there.
These are brighter than these one, but it shouldn't be.
But we have a quick question in the chat, real quick. Mary's asking: are we considering at this point that the people who built? It went away. Oh, there it is. Yeah, built this structures could have been Nephilim hybrids. Possibly, I got a couple eggs in that basket. I don't have all the eggs, but could be.
It clearly was an advanced civilization, Nephilim or not, a highly advanced civilization that was here prior to this most recent X Factor event, who most weren't around afterwards. This is probably where all the catacombs and mounds and all these things are coming from, and these bones and stuff. But the people who were piggybacking the event, the X Factor event, and made sure that they came out on top and kept all the technologies for themselves. And you got to understand, there's a span of time that takes place between X Factor, things cooling down, and repopulating. It's not instantaneous. It's not like X Factor, boom, people just came right back out. It could have been a generation or two. Maybe 20, 50, 60 years. That means things are going to get lost. Instructions are going to get lost. People who maybe have some knowledge aren't going to be around anymore. They got to just spread it through word of mouth how this shit works. People have to figure it out, take it apart, put it back together, figure out how this works.
I was going to say, Jen, following on what you just said there, imagine being the people sent over here to check in on the old world, and this is what's left. These grand buildings, because I'm sure whoever's telling you to go check in is going to expect you to just say it's just a desolate land, and then they come up upon these grand structures and then they raise questions, It's probably been an ongoing conspiracy since the beginning of this modern age.
Too. these crowds and crowds of people.
Yeah,
we go from city streets with nobody on them to these events
from?
here. And there's just, are these photoshopped in some way? I don't know. But there's just like an overabundance of people. And they're all wearing the same fucking shit. It'd be really easy to copy and paste all that, wouldn't it?
Yeah, where's Waldo?
Probably here.
And another thing, guys, where's the bathrooms for all this stuff? Where's the people going to the bathrooms in this place? Most of these buildings, including the Palace of Versailles in France, were built with no plumbing in them. Were the people here before the reset more spiritually and technologically advanced? Were their bodies in a different state of being than ours are today? Where they didn't have to maybe even eat food? Maybe, I think, Steve, you mentioned this a while ago. Maybe they didn't eat. Maybe they didn't have to go to the bathroom. That's why these places don't have bathrooms and stuff.
Well, like Mary also said as well, another possibility, maybe they weren't even people,
Exactly. We just don't know.
Who knows? Yeah. All the possibilities. That's why I love this topic. So many things could be the answer, but we're knocking up the right door here.
Yeah.
We talk about this.
When you really start to investigate his story, you find lots of holes along the way and things that don't make sense and no reason or rhyme or explanation on why they don't make sense. All you figure out is that doesn't match with that. So why is that? But there's nobody that's going to answer that question for you.
What an archway.
I mean, come on. Are you kidding me right now?
What does that say?
Department of Electricity.
That's a Department of Death. I'm like, nice. What a building.
Yeah. But look at how fabulous this facade is. Perfect A-frame sculpturing, columns on either side, beautiful arch, and then you got this crappy writing on.
I'm going to say the writing is kind of dooky, doesn't it?
It's like Department of Electricity.
Yeah.
What?
They added it for sure.
I bet the letters don't light up at night.
Yeah.
Most people didn't even read, supposedly, in the 1800s. Who's reading that?
Yeah.
What does it say? I don't know. Just go through the door.
The massive archway. Yeah, let's go through that.
Yeah.
Colombian.
What they tell us, people back then were like, I thought they were like more conservatively like Christians, Imagine walking upon this after reading Revelations in your Bible. Like, whoa, Like, this what is that about? The lady in the red, the golden dress, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, what do these fucking, reindeers have to do with Christopher Columbus? It's just, it's ridiculous. All of it's ridiculous.
Get these benches.
Yeah, crappy little benches there. Look, they got all this ornate, beautiful stuff, and people got some crappy wooden benches.
Yeah, that's what I was saying the other day with Austin. It's like they have these incredible buildings, and yet there's, you think you're sitting on a bunch of sofas floating around. No, you're sitting on a wooden bench. Best we got. It's all the funds we had left.
Oh, yeah, they had these, These carriage wheelchair, they called.
A carriage wheelchair?
Yeah. To push people around. You could rent one, or you can rent some people.
Okay. And that guy said in the video, you couldn't even see the whole fair in one summer. Like, right. So what's the point of making a fair this fucking massive if you can't even see the whole thing in one visit or whatever?
What they could have been doing? They could have been already compartmentalizing people. Like, this group of people is going to get let into this part of the fair. And once you leave the fair, whatever you just looked at for a whole summer, that will be the trade for the rest of your life. Something like that, perhaps. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they had to set the
exposition.
Yeah, they had to set the narrative up for electricity, which would be the catalyst to bring us into the industrial age, and then have a reason for all of these new inventions that are about to come out. That's just old stuff.
Well, someone was saying somewhere that some at I don't know if it was all of them or some of these World's Fairs. It's like you had to like pass a test almost. There was like it's like they were schooling you for the new world, you know? Like it was more than just an look and watch fair. Like it was like, you guys need to pick this shit up or it's not going to work out for you type of fair, you know?
Oh yeah, and you hear more about the people who came to the fair from all over the United States and all over the world. More than the people who lived near the fair.
Yeah.
So isn't it convenient they brought in all these people, if that's what really happened, from other locations who had no idea, rhyme or reason of what took place in this location? It's just that there's a beautiful fair with all this electricity and they're going to see it.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is too, they make it seem like it was affordable for everyone, but because the get-in fee wasn't too bad on the daily, but like the cost of food there was, I mean, you'd end up paying like $20 for a sandwich back then. That's kind of a lot for back then money, you know, like.
And this is
the
where they
$20 for a sandwich nowadays you wouldn't catch me getting. That's crazy.
Yeah, and they introduced a lot of the foods that we eat, like hot
Yes.
dogs and things
That's
like
what I'm
that.
saying. It was like training for the world somehow.
Exactly. This is what
It was
they already
crazy.
knew the narrative and how they were going to steer it. They were going to have patriotism. They were going to have competition. They were going to have loyalty to your country and all this stuff. You know, what's the American way? Baseball games and hot dogs. You know what I mean?
That's where they got him, dude. That's how they got him. But find me a sport, you know, that goes back further than like the 1700s on Earth, you know?
That building right there, that massive one that you're scrolling by, looks like a pyramid. Isn't that the one that was the largest building on Earth at the time? I think that's it. Yeah, at the time. Okay, this was the largest building on Earth. Now they can't even figure out how they built the pyramids, but they're able to build the largest building ever at this time.
They say
you know how quick they built that?
Pyramid.
53 days.
Yeah.
53 fucking days. Give me a break.
Imagine that.
They said you could fit the pyramid inside it.
And they did it all during the day because at night, you know, there's no lighting because they didn't have electricity yet. It wasn't installed.
And you know what happened, right? That we were talking before the show here about that Crow interview with that I can't remember his name now, but
Audi,
yes, and he actually called a couple of construction companies, and they said if he wanted a building built upon that scale today, he said, I forget what amount of money he said, but it'd be like 10, 15 years. Imagine that. They put up 53 days.
Imagine that.
Yeah, you have that video, Steve, right?
I have. Yeah, I just downloaded it, so I'm actually going to send it to your guys' email, so you don't have to do the whole login stuff.
All right, nice.
All right, because I'll let one of you two share it when we're ready for it. I don't want to do it because I'll probably mess up over here.
Oh, it's like I don't know where it is in the video. Well, I can share that little video if you want. The little.
Yeah, that little.
Yeah, I love that video. There's actually two videos I like that I'll share, if you don't mind. They're both about basically the nighttime and the lighting.
Yeah.
Now, what is that, Shepu? What's that?
I'm showing you that these are all lit up at night. These strips.
It looks like
hard to find a light bulb.
Unbelievable. That whole strip probably just glowed.
Yeah, yep. And again,
look at how ornate the columns are. Yeah.
You know.
See, yes, the magnet, the DJed columns, and then you have the arch. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. I've got some. Just again, this one we just saw.
Now you have night pictures too.
Yes.
Okay.
But I should have placed it more close together, but I wasn't home part of the day, so I didn't have time to.
Oh, it's no problem.
But this I found it really. Look how they added some stuff. Look how close.
Look at how close and jumbled up it is. What is that all about?
I don't know.
I got to get my magnifying glass for this.
Oh,
God, you can't even read it. What the hell? It says to the pioneers of civil and religious. Oh, it's a G, religious library, but bolder they who first offcast their moorings from the habitable past and ventured chartless on the sea of storm enduring and liberty.
Yeah. Pretty weird.
Huh. Yeah,
Look
that's
here. Look here.
Ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. Oh my God.
Yep.
That's what they want you to think the truth is their bullshit lie.
Toleration in religion, the best fruit of the last 4 centuries. Really. It's a really weird saying. Civil liberties, the means of building up personal and natural character. But they didn't have civil liberties, these guys.
Does that say engendering liberty? It says engendering liberty. I said enduring. I'm sorry. It says engendering liberty.
Engender. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta get up in that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But you can see that this wasn't there. Maybe this part was there, but this is it's too close together.
Yeah. I mean, far away, it just looks like a big jumbled mess.
Yes, look. This is unreadable.
That's incredible. I never saw that on there.
It's fun. This is a popular one. But I want to see the night pictures. Is that a night? No. This is how they show you different cultures. So yeah, these guys exist.
Yeah, they're educating an historical narrative at this place. It was like going to school and teaching people about different cultures and inventions and all this stuff and where we're headed, which way this whole thing's going. Now we're moving into the modern industrial age and nothing can stop us.
It's not. There's so many pictures in this. Did you see this one? This is the same. The rest of the arch and the walkway. This one we already seen.
That one there, it just looks so bizarre to me because I could tell that there's supposed to be tech on top of this dome, but it just looks incomplete.
Missing something for sure.
Wow.
Where's the one inside with the pillar all lit up? I think this one.
Oh yeah.
But this pillar is all lit up. This neon lighting, look, it's
Oh yeah.
Edison light.
Right. And it's interesting that it's sitting on a column like that because that's a DJed column, guys. This is the same stuff they used in Egypt. And it's got the light bulb sitting on top, which we usually see the columns, this kind of column with a urn looking thing on top. Right, Steve? Even in graveyards?
Absolutely.
Which I think those urn things lit up.
This is the Westinghouse place. You can see Westinghouse here, Westinghouse here, Westinghouse written here, but this column is written Edison.
Yeah, I did find those videos, Jen. Whenever you're ready for those.
Okay.
I think I just have. I'll probably look at here.
But this was a great way to get their name out. You got to figure they didn't have television yet, right? They had, I guess, I don't know, that type of newspapers or whatever, but to bring all these people in to see this stuff and advertise that these are the people who invented it, people who've never met or seen or ever heard of Edison, Tesla, and Westinghouse now are completely educated on the narrative once they leave this place and believe that these three guys somehow figured out how to do all this. And they're in competition. Oh, look at this.
Painters.
Oh, the painters.
Yeah.
Interesting. Let's see the little machinery. This is their little machinery here. This is what they whitewashed everything with.
That's the machine that whitewash everything with their spray paint.
God. But you don't even see them spray painting. They're just holding it. They're posing. It's the photo op. Just like the wars. You never see any fighting. You just see people standing around with their guns or sitting in trenches with not a speck of dirt on them.
Yeah, exactly. But This is the
Wow, look at this.
one.
Yeah.
And this is the
Now I know there's an overexposure with lighting and stuff like that, and maybe some of
yeah,
this.
but this is all lit up.
Yeah.
So this is not light bulbs. It's the tubes, and look at this pillar. It's all tubes.
Mm.
It's really hard to find real good pictures. This
yeah
was the biggest shaft they ever made for the Ferris wheel. But sorry, looks like they just found it.
Yep. Once there was electricity and they established who patented it and everything, then they can move full steam ahead with all the other technologies that they were going to bring out to us.
Yeah, these ropes, where they hanging these things. Look at these hooks. It's crazy. These people.
Wow.
Yeah. Let's find the night pictures. This is the spotlight, and all around this fountain, it's all lit up too.
And what's that down on the ground there in the front? What's all that? Yeah.
I don't know.
Can you scroll in on it? We can see what is all this. Oh, it's something in the gardening. Maybe it was a fountain or something. I don't know what that is.
Looks like they filled it with dirt or something. Oh, maybe it's the thing that I was looking at earlier.
Oh yeah, that fountain thing.
Yeah, it was a fountain, but maybe.
Oh, can you scroll in on that bridge? Go back, scroll in on the bridge. Like I told you, this bridge is all lit up. Now we just looked at daytime pictures of the bridge. You didn't see any lighting on it at all.
Yeah,
looks like the bridge in my town.
Yeah, it looks like the one you just you made videos of. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Inside, we can look at that picture. You can see this. Like they add some kind of bulb, but you cannot see it during the day. That's the funniest thing.
And let's just say, okay, so the wiring had to have been made, okay? It would have had to have been really long wiring to connect to all this stuff, right? And then the bulbs have to go in, because you're not going to put your lighting up with the bulbs already in it, right? Because that would just crash around and get all muffed up, and then you'd have broken bulbs everywhere.
Yeah.
It's just too much.
Exactly. And this is what happened after. Oh, there was a fire.
Oh, those pesky fires.
I had a nickel for every fire.
Oh, this is how they made the meat for the place. They say they had to add these big farms. I think I have a picture of the farms.
To feed all the people at the fair?
Yeah, they added away from the center of the fair.
Well, that would require refrigeration. That requires electricity, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'm just
saying. All this ground meat.
Unbelievable. Who's got the factory that makes all this metal products that are components to these, like those meat grinders and stuff like that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, look. This is supposed to be where they put all the animals for the meat.
For the fair.
Yeah.
You know how long it would take just to build all that?
Just crazy.
Oh my God, I never saw this picture before. That's insane. So they had like all the beef in the whole area just at this fair.
It was already a city, you know?
Yeah.
And then they show you these pictures. Oh yeah, we built it. But looks like they are dismantling it.
Exactly. This is when they're taking stuff down.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think that's about it for the night picture. Or maybe this one. I couldn't find another one.
Wow.
Looks like they had some kind of rain or flood. I don't know. The streets are all shiny.
Oh, and also these bulbs and this wiring somehow is conveniently waterproof as well, because you're gonna have all kinds of weather. But yeah, look at the size of these what are they called? Dominoes? Or dynamos?
Dynamos, yes.
These are things that are these were already here. It's how I feel about the situation.
Yeah.
Think about the type of factories and production you would have to have and how long it takes them a year now to build a transformer for electricity. 1 year to build a transformer.
Yeah. And look, they just put names like this company made this one just to not only one, but when you look at the story, only one person did everything.
Yep.
Yeah, and then the fire again. But I think that's I got a lot of other pictures, but this one we just
so that one was a Tesla polyphase system and Westinghouse.
The pyramid and the
all right. That was really good, Shepu. Thank you. I'm gonna let Steve screen share his little video.
I've got two, so I'm just gonna do a full screen share.
Okay.
The one that you're familiar with, that we were talking about before, I'm gonna share that one second.
Okay.
Just because the other one is, I just think it's a little more decent, maybe the end at least. But
I love this picture.
Incredible, right? They say this is Moscow right after a fire. It looks like more than a fire.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
It looks like they're moving in and cleaning up, trying to figure out what the hell to do with all this stuff.
Hundreds of bricks, incredible. But yeah, let me hit play.
In the 19th and early 20th century is the final stages of the reset. There was a transitory period.
There's a little echo.
There's an echo. Yeah, let me get my headset. 10 seconds here.
No problem. Yeah, Mary, I thought that kind of looked like a Stargate 2, that round thing that was on display. I know what you're talking about.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, let me play again. Some volume.
Transition phase. All right. The period still utilized some of the old world's technology that it was trying to phase out. And like I said, the enemy is lazy. They really should have done away with these photographs and footage. Look.
Can you go? Oh, wow, that's an amazing picture. Go back a tiny little bit to where you see the long strip lighting along the edge. Just a little bit before that. Tiny bit before that one. Yeah, okay, so here you can see the strip lighting running all the way down on this one wall. Up and down, up and down, up and down, all the way down. There's no bulbs. Just saying.
It's incredible. It's incredible. It's like one of those videos that just kind of blow you away every time you watch it, you know? It's crazy. Like how? How were they doing this back then? It's quite the question.
Yeah, the big towers of the this San Francisco Fair, it's crazy.
And they're going to do this all over again with the next reset. They're going to piggyback it. They're going to hide all the technology. They're going to come out with these fairs all over again. What that'll look like, I don't know. And then with new inventors to all this stuff that we already have a narrative to, that's false anyway.
They already did one last year, Jen.
Oh, yeah?
In Dubai. It was
wow.
the latest one. And they talked about the future. It was... how the human will be robots and all this technology thing.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Where'd you hear that before, you know?
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, you can continue.
Yeah, just another minute of this, I think. Absolutely wild. But I do have that other video. You want me to bring that up now, or do you want to talk for a second?
I guess you should bring it up.
Bring it up, yeah. All right. We got some volume.
You can never find truth. All you can do is find false.
You can hear that? That's good to go?
Yeah, you're good. I'm sorry I didn't answer you. I was muted for a second.
Oh, it's okay. All right, I'm going to hit this.
You can never find truth. All you can do is find false, drop it and get rid of it. And eventually, when you can't get rid of any more false, what you're left with is the truth. How much false can you find? Because there's lots in history. I was looking around the internet and came across the images of the 1893 Chicago World Exposition. And it blew my mind because it looked like ancient Rome in the middle of downtown Chicago. And as I looked at it further, well, here's another one in Philadelphia. Here's another one in St. Louis, in Buffalo, San Francisco. And then as soon as they were done, they tore them all down and threw them in the garbage. That just told me there's something wrong with all of these. The story of the expositions is a gigantic lie. And I think it's so huge of a lie because I think they're right at a bridge point when so many things about the 1800s that seem strange and weird, right as this sort of period ends of unbelievable strangeness, and all of a sudden these fairs spring up all over the world, with impossible buildings we're talking about, which are colossal structures. Chicago built 700 acres of fair in supposedly less than 2 years. St. Louis built 1,200 acres of exposition buildings. One of the buildings in Chicago, the manufacturer's building, would house 300,000 people. There's a giant statue in the middle of the lagoon. It was called the Golden Lady.
300,000 people in Chicago, 1893. Just think about that. You know, it's crazy. What he's about to say about this statue in the lagoon's pretty intense, too.
And it was known as the Statue of the Republic. It was 65 feet tall. They say it was covered in gold leaf that had copper underneath, but others speculate it was actually made out of solid gold. So you're talking 65-foot high, potentially solid gold statue. We're talking giant structures and looking like ancient Rome with towers and domes and columns and the most fine, ornate pieces to them in these record, unbelievable times. Then as soon as they're done, chuck them in the garbage. Like Jackson Park is a swamp. So supposedly they had to drive down tens of thousands of wooden stakes in order to support the weight of everything. They dug out massive lagoons, lakes. They had a canal system that ran through the entire exposition. They also had an above-ground electric train. An electric train, where's the electricity coming from? That's running around the park. They had a moving walkway down by the shore. Not enough people are asking, where does this technology come from?
Just to frame it, if I'm not mistaken, the Chicago Fair was the first time people had seen electric light.
Tesla's the one who got the electricity contract for the Chicago Exposition, and it was certainly more than all of the lights anyway that were in New York City at the time were at the Chicago Exposition.
Now, it must have been mind-blowing for most of those people who had only seen gaslight or candlelight at night to see that city lit up in such a way. Again, count the ways. Since 1901, we are told, whether it's true or not, the idea of being able to electrically do anything hasn't been around that long.
And this fair is bizarre. This is supposed to be Tesla's fair, where he managed to somehow move electricity from Niagara Falls to Buffalo for the fair. No one's really explained how he actually did that. And at the middle of the fair is a 395-foot-high electrical tower, on top of which, of course, is a female golden statue called the Goddess of Light. And this thing was lit up by, some suggest, 500,000 electric light bulbs. Again, when you look at the photos of this thing, it's just, where do they really get the power from?
I mean, think of what it would take today if you had a place with no electricity and no way to pipe it in, the generators that would have to be built.
For example, there's a building that went up for the Barcelona exposition in 1888. It was claimed to be the fastest built building in the world. 5,000 square meters, capacity for 2,000 guests, 600 rooms, 30 apartments, and it was supposed to be built in 53 days. This is supposed to be a time of horse and buggy. The 2-year building times are actually impossible unless the two most likely theories would be either A, they had a technology that they're not supposed to have, and it really was built in that time frame. Even if they built them, they had to build them out of marble and stone in record time, or the buildings were already there. They'd been there for hundreds or thousands of years, fixed up, refurbished, repainted, hence the term whitewashed, which is the term that was used for the Chicago Exposition, which was paint all the buildings with this brand new spray paint that they had just developed to spray paint all the buildings in record time, so you couldn't tell if anything was old or anything was new.
How long did these things tend to stay open? When they built these things supposedly over 2 years, which is the narrative, how long were they there for?
6 months.
6 months for the public to come.
And then what was amazing, for example, in St. Louis, 2 days after the fair ended, they brought in a demolition team from Chicago with explosives and blew the thing up. They actually used dynamite to blow it up, and they say threw it in landfills. Things like the World Fairs shows there was a time in our past, and even not that far in our past, where humans seemed to be at a completely higher level. Human living and human knowledge were constructed into the buildings using cymatics, using sacred geometry. These fairs, they're so important to study because the history that we know right now as history was invented at the time these fairs were going on. One of their underlying nefarious purposes was to teach a historical narrative to the population that they were supposed to believe and agree with. And scarily, the world we're walking into today is in some way has its origins during the time of these fairs.
Boom.
Absolutely. Boom, baby. 100%. He even said this is right around the time when they started to teach his story. Yeah. And we already know his story is one big fucking lie.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with that statement.
Gosh.
Got incredible stuff. Audi Mikowski's channel is great too.
Can you put a link for that in the somewhere, Shepu, real quick?
For his channel?
Yeah, if you could, that'd be beautiful.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to look at Westinghouse real quick here. Let me go over here. Here it is.
I have some other footage, video.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm gonna bring that up in just a second. But it says in 1989, not 1889, Westinghouse was inducted into the National Inventors Hall of Fame, and this is what he's accredited with: all of these patents. Yeah, electric converter, fluid pressure regulators, improve in fluid pressure, brake apparatuses, pneumatic pumps, improve in valves and fluid brake pipes. I mean, there's quite a plethora of things they're crediting this guy to. It almost reminds me of, what the heck was her name? Julia Morgan from San Francisco. After the Great Fire in San Francisco, this one architect, which happened to be a female architect, or at least they say that it was female, is accredited for designing over 700 buildings.
Yeah, imagine 700 buildings.
Yep, electric fluid turbines, electric railway, gearing, automatic fluid pressure brake apparatuses, electric railway system. I mean, are you fucking kidding me? They were just like cramming all this stuff under this guy's name.
Yeah, so much patents.
Yeah, it's insane. Okay, so let me go back over here to my screen thing here. Get me off of here, and then we'll bring up you, Shepu.
Oh, sorry.
It's all you, Shepu. I was telling Shepu, I said every time I talk my text and I say his name, it never comes out Shepu, it comes out shampoo.
Shampoo. Hey.
Yeah, shampoo. Oh, I like that, DJ. Hall of bullshit. Hall of Fame of bullshit. All right, Shepu, I'm going to bring up your screen share now. Oh, dude, that looked like a real ship too. I mean, look at how many ships that we've looked at over the last few live streams we've done.
Yeah,
and remember that one island in Italy? It was off the coast of Italy, and I was telling you it looks like a ship, but it's an island. It had turrets on it, gun turrets and stuff. That's incredible.
Yeah, could have been. When I saw this, it's oh man, I had to show this. It's all made of bricks. What? Oh man.
You know, we can't help it. We're just pointing out the facts here, guys. It's just crazy.
Right, some haters gonna think you guys made those pictures and videos.
Yeah, right.
Shepu's behind the World's Fair.
We have 73 people here. I'm probably going to be having to pick my husband up soon. But I did want to share something before we get out of here. It's off topic. It's something that's been bothering me, and I'm going to cover it. I'm just going to talk in code. I'm going to have you put your answers in the chat on what you think. But there's a show that I watch. It's called Animal Kingdom. It's not on right now. It's off season, but I started rewatching the 3rd season because that's one of the best seasons. Anyway, one of the main stars of the show on Animal Kingdom is Ellen Barkin, and she plays a character named Smurf. Well, let's just look at Ellen's name. Ellen Barkin. Bark, like a tree bark, like a Woody. Your bark is in, okay? I'm just saying, it's always in the name. So I'm going to get into the screen share real quick. Let's see if I can get this up. Hopefully it works for me. I might have to send the pictures to Steve or something.
Please work.
Yeah, face work. Oh, there it is. Hold on. It loves to take a second for me when it comes up, but here we go. Let me find it. Okay, so I took some screenshots because during season 3, there was a few scenes that just really bothered the crap out of me. Okay, so we're going to start off with this picture real quick. It'll load for me. Here we go. Let me close this thing out behind it here. Okay, so here you can see the finger ratio for men and women. Now, a lot of people don't like to use this because they say it's not as accurate as you would think. There are women out there that have an extended ring finger or excuse me, index finger, however it works here. They're supposed to be even on the female side and the ring finger is slightly longer on the male side, okay? And I agree. I have seen different things that were kind of like, geez, yeah, I can't really go by this finger ratio all the time, but there's sometimes, you know, you can really see some stuff going on. Okay. So let me go to this next picture. This is Ellen Barkin. She's behind a glass and she puts her hand up on the glass to touch her grandson's hand, which is this hand right here, but you can see the finger ratio. This is ring fingers extended further up than the index finger. So if I go back over here, you can see it right here for the male. This is for the female. So let's go back to her hand and let me go to the next picture. Here's a better view of her fingers. You can see this one is definitely longer than the index finger, which actually has a little bit of a nail on it as well. But if you look at that, you can see that this is what the male's hand looks like. Okay, and then here's another shot of her hand straight up. All the fingers are in straight position. There's no bending, and clearly you can see the finger ratio right here. And I'll go back to this picture one more time, and then go back over here. Boom, baby, all day long. But it gets better. It gets better. Wait till you see this. Here you have a sloping forehead with a brow ridge. See the brow ridge? And his forehead slopes back. It's not straight like a woman's forehead would be straight up and down. Men's forehead slope back. Just saying. And then we have this picture here. Sorry about the pause play button on there. I couldn't get that off, but I was screenshotting it off my TV. But you can see here the receding hairline. You can see how it recedes back this way and comes back with the sloping forehead and the brow ridge right here. And then there's this one. Okay. First off, again, you can see the brow ridge, no problem. The sloping forehead, and what's with these man knuckles? What's with the man knuckles here? Yikes! Just saying. Whoops. I mean, if I just showed you that, and it was shorter hair, you would think, you know, not, you know, feminine.
So much plastic, you know.
Yeah, men's skin is 25% thicker than women's, and they age differently. This is why these people have so much plastic surgery going on in their latter years. Okay, don't mind this down here. This is not Michelle Pfeiffer. I just didn't get time to crop all this out, but you can see what looks like some Cameron Diaz arms going on here.
It's the same person?
Yes. This is just this is like 10 years ago, this photo. So this is younger than the ones I just showed. You can see the broad shoulders. Yeah. You can see the texture of the skin. Okay. These are boob jobs that this person has. But just look at that right there. That's a man's chest. Here's the indent here in the armpit. Yeah, you got these curved out. Yeah. Yep. And then, you know, the vein in the arms and stuff, just like Cameron Diaz has.
Ready to go in the ring.
And then exactly. And then there's this one. This is even younger. Ellen Barkin. The bark is in. It's not out. There's no out Woody. There's a bark in.
Yeah.
Okay, you got straight up and down torso.
Yeah.
Right? This is clearly before the boob job. This is more like Cameron Diaz with her flat-chestedness. and then you could just see the man arms and stuff like that. So I wanted to show you the clear up and down torso. There's no curvature, even though this isn't a bikini picture. You can't find bikini pictures of her really, so it's kind of hard. But let me go to this next one. Let's see if this is going to load for me. I don't know. Why is this not loading? Oh, did you see that? Shepu? It just went off. Hang on. I'll bring, yeah, it always does it to me. Hopefully it'll come back up. Okay, see, I got to start over. I got to go back over to this picture. Oh, come on. Why won't it show that one picture? Okay, so here she is, the movie she did with Al Pacino. I just want to point out again, now this person was considered a sex symbol, also a sex symbol. You can see the receding hairline there, just like in the older picture. And of course, they have no problem showing you this arm right here because they want it to stick out. It's in your face, but you won't figure it out because they got you deceived. And then there's this one, which is probably, I don't know, maybe like within the last 10 years as well. Just take a look at the arm here. Let's just look at that arm. And then you have the neck muscles as well. Yeah. These very thick neck muscles with the straight across collarbone, with the broad shoulders. But look at that arm, guys. I mean, wow. Just wow. That's a dude arm all day long. Just is. And I think I got one more after this one. Okay, again, here you can see the man arms. I mean, they're just, she loves her showing off her arms. But yeah. And you could tell the skin is different. You could tell that it's not feminine skin. I'm just saying, like, even on Cameron Diaz, when you look at her skin, you could tell. Once you know what you're looking at and you've looked at this stuff enough, you can tell that this is not feminine skin. It's not soft and supple. So yeah, I shared all that, right? You saw it all?
Oh yeah.
Okay, good. All righty. So yeah, that's what I got.
Hollywood, the great deceivers. That's
yep.
They reversed everything. Yeah.
Definitely got to watch out for them. No bueno.
No bueno. Hey, Tommy. Yeah, where are all the landfills? And can we go check them out and dig them up? Brian's in the house. What's up? She's a deceiver. You got that right. Yeah, Cameron Diaz. Come on, let's just go with the name. Cameron, there's that. Look up. This is what I want you to look up. You can look it up on your own if you want to know if Cameron's a dude. Just look up Cameron Diaz bikini. That's all you have to type into your search. You'll get all the paparazzi pics up, and that's what you want to look at. Paparazzi pics of these people on the beach in their bikinis. Training Man has no shame in his game.
Like you always say, as they get older, it's showing more and more, and they can't hide it anymore. So, yeah.
Janice Dickinson was a supermodel. Dickinson, okay. When you look at Janice now, she has no problem strutting her old man body up and down the beach with her little stringy bikinis on. Adonis belt out for everybody to see. No hips to even hold up the strings on her bikini. But there it is. No, people can't tell. I can't see how other women, real women who encounter this creature, can't see that this person has the same V cut as their husband. Oh, wait, their husband's obese and overweight. Like most men in America, it's sad to say, but that's the way it is. So they can't even see his Adonis belt anymore, but you know, Cameron Diaz and Janice Dickinson is, you know, rocking their Adonis belts. Pink's just, you know, got handlebars down there. They're so obvious. So yeah, there's that. Hopefully I don't get taken down for saying none of this stuff. And I didn't go too hardcore, but I just wanted to throw that in on the back end because everybody's interested in that stuff to a certain extent. And I try to tackle it a little bit here and there, and just watching this show, it's just always bothered me. And I'm just like, it's so obvious in her old, like Glenn Close. Glenn is a guy's name. And you look at Glenn in his old age, I mean, wow. It's just like Angelica Houston.
Yeah. People get triggered with this subject, So
Yeah. And I don't know why. I really don't, because, we're exposing all the other lies and stuff. This is just one more lie and way that we've been deceived, and the way they have us under a perception deception. And the sad part about it is that there's been many, many women over the decades, since all these Hollywood movies and these pinup girls and these supermodel magazines and stuff, who have given themselves bulimia, eating disorders, and a plethora of other self-loathing types of mindsets, that they're supposed to look like these women, that this is what's considered beautiful. But in the end, it's not even a woman. You don't have that kind of body structure and DNA setup. You will never look like that because you're a woman. And
in history, that's how it started. In the stage shows, no women were allowed. All the men were dressed as women.
Yeah, and it still continues today. I think on the lower levels, maybe like on some commercials and maybe sitcoms and stuff, you'll find real women, but mostly on the big screen, it seems to be the same way. And, well, we've talked before about, gay Hollywood and stuff, and the gay music industry and stuff. Well, it would seem that it rolls right along with that narrative, because if you're gay and you're with somebody, that whole thing's really confusing to me. I don't understand why anybody would want to be with another person of the same sex who's trying to act like the opposite sex. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. But when you're going against the natural order of things and pretty much giving a middle finger to the natural order of things and the creator and the way things are supposed to be, you would do these most unclean and foul things. So, yeah, kind of like just silence now. Do you guys have anything else you want to show or talk about or present? Because I know I'm going to get the phone call soon to pick up the hubby.
No, I got that's about it on my end. A couple of good videos there, but no, all in all, a pretty good show.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. I did want to go longer. I was hoping to go longer, but he's getting off early tonight, so and it's the end of the week, so I'm going to go pick him up. And I just want to thank everybody who's here to help celebrate my birthday with this stream. I see Bane Bears here. He put something up here. What's this say? Enough to wear a bikini. Plenty of celebrity. Yeah. Male to female. Well, we know about Justin Bieber. And then there's Bruno Mars. I've gone over Bruno Mars. Bruno is a really manly name, and Mars. They say women are from Venus, men are from Mars. So what do you do when you have a MTF that's still looking really F, okay? Well, you're going to want to give them the most manly name you can find, Bruno. And then Mars. Let's put Mars on there because women already know that men are from Mars and women are from Venus. So you got Bruno Mars. This is marketing, packaging, a fake, false identity, attaching it to somebody who's nothing but a liar and a deceiver, and they go out and deceive it the whole world. I mean, he's got that one song where he talks about girls are waking up his rocket and stuff. Well, ain't no rocket down there. Sorry.
Oh, boy.
Anyway. Steve's like, I was going to mirror this video, but I don't think I am now.
Yeah, probably not. Sorry.
We'll see if it stays up on my channel or not. Then you should be all right. But you know what? I heard two people.
I've already got 2 strikes. I'm not dealing.
Well, 2 people said they mirrored a couple of my videos and they got strikes on them, and I haven't gotten strikes on them.
I've got a strike on it. On one.
Yeah, you and who was the other person? Oh, Jeremy. Jeremy. Yeah. So that's fucked up, but I have had that happen to me before.
Yeah,
I mirrored
one we did, Steve, Mark, and you and me. Yeah. I had to cut some parts of it to put it, and it was okay. So.
Right. Well, at least they let you trim it out. But
yeah, I trim it out myself.
Oh, okay. Well,
because I knew you said that.
They did give me the option one time to trim the video, and they would put it back up. I didn't get a strike for it, but it was copyright, and it was going to get blocked. So they let me trim out that one section, which really sucked because it was a good.
The last one, like I said, the Russian one, they just removed it, and I don't know why. I tried
You mean
to appeal, but
the Imperial Crown of Russia? That one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. I wound up making it private after you told me that. I made it private on my end because I don't need anymore.
I tried to appeal, and they reject my appeal.
They always reject my appeal. It's like, oh, appeal it. Yeah, okay. I mean, I'm sick and tired of being rejected. I already know their answer. They're like, fuck you, Jen. That's about it. That's all I get. I can't believe Justin Bieber is... Yeah, Johnny, you need to go back and look at the younger years of Justin Bieber. He was done at a very young age on the what is it called, for the prepubescent drugs that they take and stuff. So they never develop any type of breasts or anything like that. And I do feel that Justin Bieber is one of the people who had Adonis belt implants or some type of an implant there to make it look more legit. And I can do that because they have implants. Now, I'm not saying that they all get implants. Like, I'm not saying Karen, because you would have to say Cameron Diaz, all these supermodels and everything, all got boob jobs and implants. Well, if you're trying to be looking like a woman, why would you get an Adonis belt implant? Why would Pink get an Adonis belt implant? All right. Is it like the cool thing in Hollywood to have that? You know, nobody's talking about it. But if they can enhance your muscle tone, like some people get implants put into the back of their calves to have a little bit more calf muscle looking there. You get butt implants to enhance your butt and so it would not be too much of a stretch to think that Justin Bieber, and I think this happened within the last 5 to 7 years that these implants were put in, because I remember pictures before where he would be on stage, take his shirt off, and he only had a few tattoos at the time, and there was no Adonis belt there. Of course, you can say, well, he worked it out and all that stuff, but I feel like he had probably gotten a surgery.
Yeah. And most impersonator of Justin Bieber are female.
Are they really?
Yeah, I've seen a couple of them, and they are females.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to get ready to get out of here. We still have 68 people here. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Shepu, for hanging out with me for my birthday stream. I love you guys.
And for inviting me again.
Everyone throw it in the chat.
Yeah, thank you. I love you guys. And I'm going to go out with a song, and then I'm just going to close everything out and go get my husband. So let me go to the song here. I love you guys. And let's see what we're going to play here. All right. All right, guys, we're out of here. Love ya.
Just stay.
Let it not be said
that
we stood by and did nothing. Sorry for cutting you off, Shepu.
No, it's okay. I just wanted to say something afterward to Steve.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. No, after the show. So.
VIP.
Okay. Yeah. VIP back room.
Jack Wagon Free Zone. This is a Jack Wagon Free Zone. Boom. It's a Jack Wagon Free Zone. This is a Jack Wagon Free Zone. Boom. Yo, welcome to the ripple effect. OGs listen while they finish their sets. Dark band, get that pimple in check. Everything got dribbled and wet. People died a miserable death in the mud like a fish in the net. History ain't even correct. Free your mind from the prison they set. We're trying to get your vision correct. It's a Jack Wagon Free Zone. This is a Jack Wagon Free Zone. Boom. Boom. Bricks melt past 1080 degrees Celsius on the show with the guy they call Steve. Band's cool like the wind in the breeze. Earth melted and all the mud freeze. Bake you up like a kick in the knees. Glass streams, we hit in the trees. God bless you like when we sneeze. What's the difference between a pyramid and a conical roof? Just listen to Jen if you want to know truth. Stick around and she'll show you some proof. And everything you learn, just shout from the roof. My name is Ray, and it's me in the booth. It's a Jack Wagon Free Zone. This is a Jack Wagon Free Zone. Boom. It's another component that was on the grid system. Big brother ain't so big now, more like my kid's sister. If you ever want to show a picture, Jen, I'll sit with you. Go make her taser happy. That taser's happy. I used to spend the days cutting class, puffing haze in my grades and crapping. In the back of the class, Ray was napping. It's a jackwagon free zone. This is a jackwagon free zone.